then they'd do their business and fly away. Then another one would come, peck, peck, peck. So they said, look, if you want to park here, don't park at this spot. So I had to park further up the drive. Now they don't bother me. I did throw out some very nice breadcrumbs to them to bribe them, though. A bit of bribery gets you everywhere. As the old saying goes, flattery gets you everywhere. Okay, Jai,
Okay.
go ahead.
Krishna, 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 hey.
No.
Krishna, 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 hey. I forgot the line.
Yes, Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Jai.
Krishna, 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 Paimam.
This is your dad's favorite one now, Jigna. Go on.
Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam.
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. It's Ram Nomi on Sunday as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Special day. Ram Nomi,
Yeah.
April. Always comes in April.
Yes, we'll go to the manor.
You'll go to the temple. That's nice. Yeah, we've been invited to go to a kirtan program in Swindon.
Oh, wow.
So we'll go there and we'll take some music and we'll speak something about Hanumanji and some of the Ram story. Some maybe some interesting things that are normally not talked about there. We can discuss them. Okay, so Jai, carry on with the story. Thank you. I'm just getting my phone here.
It's here. Here's your phone.
Oh, you're on mute, Prabhu.
Can't hear him, Steve.
Let me start again. Krishna reminded the gopis that at the time of the Rasa dance, those gopis who could not join him for the Rasa Leela gave up their bodies simply by thinking of him. Absorption in Krishna consciousness by feeling separation is thus the quicker method for attainment of the lotus feet of Krishna. By the personal statement of Krishna, the gopis were convinced about the strength of feelings of separation. They were actually experiencing the supernatural method of Krishna worship and were much relieved by understanding that Krishna was not away from them, but always with them. Shall I continue?
Jigna, you can go for this one.
The gopis therefore received Uddhava very happily and began to speak as follows. We have heard that King Kamsa, who was always a source of trouble for the Yadu dynasty, has now been killed. This is good news for us. We hope, therefore, that the members of the Yadu dynasty are very happy in the occasion of in the association of Krishna, who can fulfill all the desires of his devotees. My dear Uddhava, kindly let us know whether Krishna sometimes thinks of us while in the midst of the highly enlightened society girls in Mathura. We know that the women and girls in Mathura are not village women. They are enlightened and beautiful. Their bashful, smiling glances and other feminine features must be very pleasing to Krishna. We know very well that Krishna is always fond of the behavior of beautiful women. It seems, therefore, that he has been entrapped by the women of Mathura. My dear Uddhava, will you kindly let us know if Krishna sometimes remembers us while in the midst of other women?
Well, there we are. You see, this is very nice now because we can see where, you know, this attraction, the attraction, male and female attraction is there. And it's natural. It's a natural attraction. And therefore, in this world, we all say, well, it's natural to want a woman. It's natural to want a man. It's natural. What the natural thing is, it's natural for Krishna. It's natural for us to be attracted to Krishna and Krishna to be attracted to the living entity who is the Prakriti. We Prakriti, we are the feminine energy of Krishna. Therefore, we can't go to Krishna except for who? Who do we approach to go to Krishna? The name begins with R.
Radharani.
Radharani, yes. Yes, because she's the feminine energy of the Lord. And therefore, because he is Purusha, we, Prakriti, are enjoyed by the Purusha. So it is natural, it's natural to be attracted to the male to be attracted to the female. But in this world, it is not, it is imperfect. It is imperfect because we're imitating, the males in this world are imitating the original male, who is the Supreme Lord himself. And as we discussed previously, that if you go to Maheshloka or to Kalalok, I think the another name is Kalaloka. If you go to Lord Shiva's planet, there are no males on his planet at all. They're all females. So if a male enters into Maheshdam, immediately he becomes female. Immediately. So obviously the transvestites will love this. They'll be very happy to hear about this. So that's what I tell them. The men who like to dress as women, the gays and all these, type of people. I say, yes. I said, you're on the wrong planet. You're on the wrong planet, man. That's your problem. It's not that you're, you don't worry, but you're just in the wrong place. You got to go to Lord Shiva's abode, and there, immediately you become the feminine energy manifested fully. So Krishna is naturally the male, and he is attracted to the female. Although, odd thing is that the female is Krishna's own energy. So Krishna is attracted to his own energy, but the supreme female is Srimati Radharani, and therefore she's almost on par. In fact, it's considered that Radharani is more God than Krishna himself. You see, because Krishna is called Madan Mohan Mohini. This is the name for Radha, sorry. Do you know this name for Radharani? Yes?
Yes.
And Jai, you know this name?
Yeah.
Madan Mohan Mohini is the attractor of Madan, who attracts all living entities in this world. So if we can understand, if we can grasp this reality, it's very easy to transcend the mistake that we are the enjoyers in this world. This is our greatest mistake, is that we think that we are the Purushas and that we are, but Krishna is the Purusha. So it takes time to sink in, it takes time, sometimes lifetimes, sometimes some people have already realized it fully, and they're in that transcendental platform. You see, where they're beyond, they've transcended the lustful, the lust, the calm. It's transcended, like the Magdas and the Charanas and the different singers in Dwarka. They would sing to Krishna and the queens, and they would be engaging in very private pastimes, and rubbing, they would be throwing yogurt on each other and butter and all kinds of things and playing games. And of course, men who were impure in their hearts, they would be asked, they would have to leave, and only the pure-hearted would stay and sing and glorify the Lord. So these are very, very, very the highest level of purity. But it all begins with accepting that the Lord is the Purusha. This is the main point, that we accept that Krishna as Purusha, not just as Ishwara. Okay, go ahead, Jai. I'm just looking for it myself. You can go with the next paragraph.
Another gopi inquired, does he remember that night in the midst of Kumuda flowers and moonlight, when Vrindavan became exceedingly beautiful? Krishna was dancing with us, and the atmosphere was surcharged with the sound of footbells. We exchanged pleasing conversation then. Does he remember that particular night? We remember that night and we feel separation. Separation from Krishna makes us agitated, as if there were fire in our bodies. Does he propose to come back to Vrindavan to extinguish that fire, just as a cloud appears in the sky to extinguish the forest fire by its downpour?
Okay.
Continue?
Yeah, I found it. Another gopi inquired.
Yeah.
Yes. Downpour. I was looking for downpour there. Another gopi inquired. Wait a minute. I've got another gopi said here.
Yeah, so
I'm ahead of myself. I got it. Yes, to extinguish the fire forest fire by the downpour. Yes. Yeah, Krishna. This is also Krishna is compared to the meg, the cloud, which is full of water, the dark rain cloud that can extinguish the forest fire of our lustful desires in the heart. Only Krishna can do this. And the Guru also, he gives a special mercy. The Guru is the Diksha Guru, specifically is called the Karuna Avatar. Have you heard this name? Karuna Avatar. Write it down. Karuna Avatar. Very important name for Sri Guru. Whether it's your Diksha or your Shiksha Guru, it doesn't matter. Shiksha or Diksha, Karuna Avatar. This Karuna Avatar is the Guru, is the Samsara Dhavanala. He is the one who is able to put out this forest fire of materials. The forest fire that we're in isn't external. It's not external to us, because this world could become like Vaikuntha, like that, in a second. This is explained by Prabodhananda Saraswati in the Chaitanya Chandamrita, one book written by him, that this world, although it's considered like a hellish place full of suffering, it can become also Vaikuntha. And the downpour of the forest fire is not like external, it's actually within our own heart. So the forest fire that's taking place is in our heart, and it's the fire that we have to enjoy, to be Purusha. And it's very, very burning, constantly burning the Purusha Bhav. And for a devotee who's become aware of it, it's very painful to endure this Purusha Bhav. It becomes so painful and so such a negative thing that he actually is able to burn out this lustfulness to enjoy this world, the devotee. The spiritual master is able to extinguish that, because he's representing the original Lord, who is like a great rain cloud, as explained here. So I'll read this part now. Another gopi said, Krishna has killed his enemy, and he has victoriously achieved the kingdom of Kamsa. Maybe Mathura, maybe he is married with a king's daughter by this time and living happily among his kinsmen and friends. Therefore, why should he come to this village of Vrindavan? Look how simple the gopis are. They're so simple girls that they're conjecturing and speculating. Oh, he's probably got married to one of the king's daughters now. Yeah, he's moved up in the world. He's forgotten us. But they still don't complain. They're not envious. The main point is that they're not envious of the fact. They're not planning. Oh, let's go and kill Krishna's wife. Let's do her in. Let's sort her out. Let's pull her hair out. Let's turn her teeth. Let's pull her teeth out. No, they're not thinking like this, you see. This is the difference. All right. Go on then, Jigna. Another gopi said.
Another gopi said, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the husband of the goddess of fortune, and he is self-sufficient. He has no business either with us, the girls in the Vrindavan forest, or with the city girls in Mathura. He is the great super soul. He has nothing to do with any of us, either here or there.
There you go. And this is now a Rishi Gopi, someone very advanced spiritually, is realizing they can understand that, well, he may be, but ultimately he's super soul, he's everything. And we know this. It's like something about someone, but you pretend not to know it. We all do that sometimes. Like, I know that my mother's completely mad, but I don't, I pretend that she's normal. You see, this is what we do in life. Isn't that right, Mum?
No.
No.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead, Jai. Yeah, another gopi said it's unreasonable.
Another gopi said it is unreasonable hope for us to expect Krishna to come back to Vrindavan. We should try instead to be happy in disappointment. Even Pingala, the great prostitute, said that disappointment is the greatest pleasure. We all know these things, but it is very difficult for us to give up the expectation of Krishna coming back. Who can forget a solitary conversation with Krishna, on whose chest the goddess of fortune always remains? In spite of Krishna not desiring her, my dear Uddhava, Vrindavan is the land of rivers, forests, and cows. Here the vibration of the flute was heard, and Krishna, along with his elder brother, Sri Balram, enjoyed the atmosphere of our company. Thus, the environment of Vrindavan constantly reminds us of Krishna and Balram. On the land of Vrindavan are the impressions of his footprints, the residence of the goddess of fortune, and because of such signs, we cannot forget Krishna.
Okay, so it's a great lesson there for all us people who are disappointed in life. Hands up who's disappointed in life. Are you disappointed? Yeah, another one. So we're all disappointed here, but look at Pingala. She was a society girl, and she says that disappointment. I've never heard this before. I'm glad I'm reading it now. I tell you, that woke me up when he read that. Disappointment is the greatest pleasure in life. So this is very, very deep stuff now. Disappointment is the greatest pleasure. This if we can market this idea now, if we can get into marketing this, we'll be richer than Donald Trump himself. Because everyone is disappointed in them. Even Trumpy is disappointed in this world. The Queen is, we all know the Queen is very, very disappointed the way her family turned up. What a bunch of bananas. The royal family. In the past, they're all in the same category. We know history of royalty. But in this instance, because of the media, it's become public, everyone can see how stupid the royal family are. It's like, everyone can see it, it's obvious. But disappointment is there in this world. But within that disappointment, certainly of losing Krishna, is the greatest happiness. But that has to be on the spiritual platform. So in order to change our disappointment to becoming a source of happiness, we have to rise to the spiritual platform and come into contact with Krishna, who always disappoints us. Haribo! There's one movie I watched a long time ago called Malik, and it starred Rajesh Khanna and Shamila Tagore. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It was such a good film. We used to sell it at the temple on those videos.
Yeah. It's a nice film.
Yeah, and we sold Yehi Hai Zindagi. There was a Kankan Mein Bhagwan. There was quite a few movies we used to sell, and we used to also give as a gift if people became a member, etc. Just give me a second. Hang on. Sweetness here. Let's all give Sweeter a big hammy bowl.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I'm late.
Haribo Smita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
We weren't expecting you today, Sweeter. Thank you for coming.
Yes, I can't unfortunately read or anything, but I just wanted to listen in.
Yeah. Just a moment. I'm just cooking here. A methi and sweet corn and paneer sabji. I'm making that for my mum's. It's my mum's new favorite sabji.
Oh,
She
sounds
used to
nice.
like aloo gobi, matar aloo gobi with matar. She used to like that one. But when I made this one with single cream in it, that was the end of it.
That's my favorite.
I tell you what we used to have at the temple as well was gobi and matar and with single cream in the sabji. Oh, that was a lovely sabji. I think it was dhania in it as well, or maybe it was methi. I can't remember. But we used to have it at festival times with puris. And we'd be out there slogging it out on the street for months, weeks, freezing cold baths in the morning in the middle of a field, living in the back of a van, and we'd come back and we'd have this lovely, oh, wow, some of the nicest sabjis. I don't know how they made it, but it was wonderful. And it kept us going, you see.
Mm.
As I said, bribery gets you everywhere. All right, so so this is interesting point, disappointment. So let's for Smita's benefit, can you just read that again, please? That first part of the paragraph, please, for Smita's benefit, Jai.
Another Gopi said, it is unreasonable hope for us to expect Krishna to come back to Vrindavan. We should try instead to be happy in disappointment. Even Pingala, the great prostitute, said, the disappointment is the greatest pleasure. We all know these things, but it is very difficult for us to give up the expectation of Krishna coming back. Who can forget a solitary conversation with Krishna, on whose chest the goddess of fortune always remains? In spite of Krishna not desiring her, my dear Uddhava, Vrindavan is the land of rivers, forests, and cows. Here the vibration of the flute was heard, and Krishna, along with his elder brother Sri Balram, enjoyed the atmosphere of our company. Thus, the environment of Vrindavan constantly reminds us of Krishna and Balram. On the land of Vrindavan are the impressions of his footprints, the residence of the goddess of fortune, and because of such signs, we cannot forget Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Look, Shamarani's here now. Oh God,
Hi,
we're gonna
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Shamarani. We're gonna have to do the whole thing again for you now.
Oh no, sorry.
Tell you what, you got to stop doing this. It's very disappointing, you know.
I know. Disappointing, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
You're a great disappointment to us.
I won't be again, Prabhu. Sorry.
Okay,
But we should be happy in disappointment.
this is the point. This is the point meant. So, here another gopi saying that she's saying to Uddhava, look, it's unreasonable to expect Krishna to come back from Mathura. You know, all the girls are there. He's got all the girls from Mathura. They're much, you know, they got more bangles than we have. They're richer. They're maybe even the king's daughter. He's probably married to the king's daughter now, they're saying. And we shouldn't, you know, we should try to be happy in our disappointment, she said. It is disappointing, but we have to be happy in our disappointment. And she said that even Pingala, who was a great society girl, which we know is Vesha, the prostitute. But when we think of prostitute, we don't think of the ladies downtown London on the corner. They weren't those kind of people. These were very artistic dancers, singers. They were fabulously well-educated people. And they were on a much higher level than these unfortunate creatures that are on the streets selling out. So basically, this Pingala, she said that that disappointment is the greatest happiness. Can we all have a big whoo, please? Smita?
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. We'll have to do it together.
1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah, so it says disappointment, you see, can become, it is in fact the greatest, because Krishna will always disappoint us, but because this is the nature of life. Life is disappointing. Look at what happened to George Harrison. He got in the Beatles, he was famous, he was rich, but he got to the top of the ladder and he found, you know, he got very disappointed. He said, I'd rather be a gardener than this. And he went into the gardening profession in the end. So life is disappointing, and it's meant to be. Because Krishna, he disappoints us. But when Krishna disappoints us, it's the highest happiness. You see? Like if you came home now, Shamarani comes home, and all the butter has been taken from her fridge. She'll be very disappointed. But where's all the anchor butter gone? Or whatever country life, whatever you're using there. But if she found out that Krishna had stolen it, what happens to a disappointment? It goes to a very distant place. What's replacing the disappointment? An extremely big smile.
Yes, Ananda.
Ananda. So this is the nature, like we were in Swindon a couple of weeks ago. We've just been invited to go back there now on Sunday, because we had us on a Saturday and not many people turned up because it was Saturday, hot, nice summer's day. Basically, it was like a summer. Nobody turned up, only 3 people. So they want us on a Sunday, and they're hoping it's going to rain. And that means the people will be so disappointed they'll come to the program. So the thing is that when in this when I went to that program, oh, it's just gone up my head there. Excuse me for that. Talking about disappointment. So the thing is, point is, within disappointment is, oh yes, they made makan. They were making makan in the house. So his wife showed me her thing, and they were making the real makan there. And of course, you know, Krishna's Makanchor. And the gopis, you know, like the young girls, they were taking the bath in their part of the Jamuna where the girls would be reserved for the young ladies, and the males wouldn't be allowed there. If males were there, they would be severely punished by Nanda Maharaj and the elderly gopas. But those girls were taking the bath, and Krishna came and stole all the clothes. Now all those poor girls are in the water taking their bath, and Krishna's taking the clothes and put them in the tree. And then he says, Krishna, you know, give us our clothes. No, you have to come and get them. They were very disappointed. It's very disappointing. But because they wanted to be Krishna's wife, they wanted in their heart to be married to Krishna, they were very, very happy. Very, very happy. And these are very wonderful revelations of Krishna as Purusha. Unfortunately, in most religions, they have no concept of God as Purusha, only as the Srishtikarta. Who knows what Srishtikarta means? Smita, Srishtikarta?
No, Prabhu, I'm sorry.
Okay, Srishti.
Is the world, the creation?
Creation, yes. Srishti. Karta, kartaha, karta.
Yeah, made creation.
The one who is the actual creator of this material energy is the Srishtikarta. There are two. We know Brahmaji is the second Srishtikarta. Krishna is the original because he is the origin of Mahavishnu. So they know God as Srishtikarta, and they also as Ishvara, as the Devas, controlling nature. But they don't know God as Purusha. This is where they fail. Other religions, it fails in not understanding God as the Purusha. But as Purusha is very confidential knowledge to understand God as the Purusha, as the enjoyer. And until we realize God as the enjoyer, we can never get out of this material world. It's impossible to leave the material atmosphere. Okay, so we've just repeated that several times for your benefit about how disappointment is the source of the greatest happiness. Okay, so anyone disappointed here, by the way? Disappointed? This person is very disappointed with me, I tell you now. Smita, disappointed in any way?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't believe it. Everyone is disappointed. Life is disappointing. So this is the bottom line. Okay, so coming to this point here, we are going to go to the gopis further expressed. Who can start that part now? The gopis further expressed. Do you want to have a go, Shamarani or Smita? Oh, Smita's just listening. Sorry.
I'm still looking.
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, got it.
Go on.
The gopis further expressed that Vrindavan was still full of all opulence and good fortune. There was no scarcity or want in Vrindavan as far as material necessities were concerned. But in spite of such opulence, they could not forget Krishna and Balaram. We constantly remember various attractive features of beautiful Krishna, his walking, his smiling, and his joking words. We have all become lost by the dealings of Krishna, and it is impossible for us to forget him. We always pray for him, exclaiming, Dear Lord, dear husband of the goddess of fortune, dear Lord of Vrindavan and deliverer of the distressed devotees, we are now fallen and merged into an ocean of distress. Please, therefore, come back to Vrindavan and deliver us from this pitiable condition.
Very nice. And you know, here we have a situation where the gopi is describing herself as distressed, and this is the price we pay to get Krishna's mercy and to get love for Krishna. We have to become very distressed. Anybody distressed here? Anybody in a distressed condition? Oh, 2 hands. Oh, was that
Yeah.
3 hands? Good God, that's all 3 hands on Shamarani there. Smita's got 10 hands up there.
Yeah, definitely.
So we are distressed in this world. The more distressed, the better. The more distressed,
The better.
the
Yeah.
better. The better. Because, you know, these are confidential truths. Confidential. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam 1088:8, Lord Krishna says, a famous shloka, which I teach my students in the shloka class in level 1, they get to know this straight away. This famous verse that Prabhupada quoted many, many times in his Vrindavan Bhajan, he quoted it. He quoted it when his business was pillaged and burgled in Allahabad, which is called Prayag Pharmacy. And it's a verse there where Krishna says, Yasyaham anugrinami. Who knows this shloka? Harishe tad danam shanai. Smita's phone. Sorry, Smita. Chapter 43, I believe. We're still on Krishna, Uddhava visits Vrindavan, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Delivery of the message of Krishna to the God. Uddhava is delivering Krishna's message, all right?
Thank you.
Krishna's
Thank you.
message of distress and disappointment, by the way. So Uddhava, Krishna is saying, Yasyaham anugrinami harishe taddanam shanai tato dhanam tyajantyasya. This is by the way, Jai Prakash, this is a accountant's nightmare, this shloka. Yeah, tato dhanam tyajantyasya svajana dukkha dukkitam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1088:8. If you want to, in your private time, learn it. Prabhupada quoted it many times. And it says, Anugrinami means favored. And when Krishna especially favors you, not just a little bit, when he really, really is really giving you special mercy, attention, which we're praying to Krishna for this attention. When he gives it to you, he gradually takes away all your wealth.
Oh.
When Krishna really, really turns it on, it's not like you're going to become a multimillionaire. This is a bad news for accountants. I'm sorry, Jai Prakash. Don't tell it to your clients, this one. This is confidential knowledge. And Krishna takes away all your wealth until tato dhanam tyajant. Yes, yeah. To such an extent that the family and friends, they abandon him or her. They abandon them. Oh, you're a failure. You're useless. And Prabhupada was called a bad father, a bad husband, this, that, so many things. He was not a great success as a grihastha. He could have been, but Krishna purposefully put a spanner right in the works for Prabhupada. So tato dhanam, and he says, he takes away, and the family and friends reject such an impoverished person, and he suffers the misery again and again. This is Krishna's special mercy. Now, who can understand God? Yet, within this disappointment, within this distress, what is there? Paramanand. Okay, this is a great confidential truth. And the gopis are experiencing it to the extreme. So this is why this is such a confidential chapter. Any comments on this point? Not related to business, Jai Prakash.
is the pleasure part the fact that following disappointment you are more likely to come closer to God? Is that the idea?
No, it's not a dualistic. I know what you're saying. I understand that. This is what we call Bhoga Tyag in this world. We give up. We're enjoying. Then we just sort of give it up. It's not working, and we reject. And then again, we take it up again. Or like they say, you got to experience misery and unhappiness to appreciate happiness. You see, this is duality. No, this is beyond duality now. This is happiness beyond duality. This is understanding that the real essence of what disappointment is. It's the disappointment that makes our whole existence flavorful, full of flavor, because we're not disappointed with another Jiva Tattva. That disappointment is totally miserable. When you become disappointed with Krishna, and in a personal way, it's absolute. So this disappointment itself is a source of happiness. In other words, the disappointment changes its form. It changes its feature as what we experience as disappointed. Within Krishna, it's a source of great happiness and great pleasure. So, and we can understand these things by reading the pages of the Krishna book. So what I suggest everyone do is, in your own time this week, look up Srimad Bhagavatam 1088.8. It's a very, very powerful, because it's relating here very strongly. And read what Prabhupada says in that purport. Okay? Because this is the essence of spiritual life, is not that we're going to be, that's our problem. You see, we're thinking, when am I going to be happy? No, we're never going to be happy. It's not possible. When will Krishna be happy? Then we're happy. So when the floor of our life here is that we're thinking, when am I going to be happy? I, the ahankar. I means ahankar. In the material world, the I is ahankar. In the spiritual world, the I is Krishna, because we are Krishna. We are non-different from, that's why we say we are one with God. Then people say, oh, that means you're God. No, we are one with God because we are part of God, but that doesn't mean we are God. So we are Krishna. We are a tiny part of Krishna. We are Krishna. And when we focus on the real I, or what we call in Sanskrit, the Atma. There's a devotee living in Winchester, Prabhupada's disciple. His name is Atma, the self of the self. So the very self, our real self, is Krishna. But we are not Krishna. This is the mysterious rahasyam. This is another verse for you that deals with this concept that we are Krishna, we are part of Krishna, and in one sense we are Krishna, but Krishna isn't us, and we can't be the whole Krishna. So look at this verse as well, 9.4. When you've got time, Bhagavad Gita 9.4. This explains this point. When we understand these things about the absolute nature, then we won't be looking at the duality, the result of the result of disappointment. No, the disappointment itself is the happiness, because it's relating to Krishna directly. So we can be very happy to be disappointed, you see. Just like when Shamarani came home and saw all the butter's gone out of the fridge. She's like, oh God, where did the butter go? Krishna stole it. Oh my God, yes. Yeah. See, there's a difference. So you come home, everything's gone. The house is empty. Oh my God, where did it? Krishna came and stole it. Hooray, Haribol! Okay, so this is so we can understand. Okay, we'll stop there. It wasn't a very long, we were a bit late starting, unfortunately, but I think we've covered some really important points. What do you think? Because it relates to us. And if we can understand what is real, then disappointment, our problem, we're looking for the wrong thing. Therefore, we're always miserable.
Yeah.
But we can look for these truths are coming out in these pages of the Krishna book here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Smita. Hey, Smita, I hope you wasn't disappointed with that session.
No, no, I'm so sorry I missed a bit of it. I'll have to catch up. Thank you very much.
Me
Okay.
too. You know what? I actually forgot the time, and I thought it's 7:30.
Oh gosh, then that's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm for
No, no.
disappointing you.
Yes, you did, Prabhu.
Hare
No,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Nice to see you. Is that your mom,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
this woman is very dangerous.
No.
Hare
Haribol,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Nice
Krishna.
to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Beware,
Smita.
all
Hare Krishna.
accountants, beware of this person.
Is she the one with lots of money?
Okay, this is Mrs. Moneyback. And another thing is, if you're a researcher, you're finished if you know this person. Don't research her.
Very thrifty.
Thrifty isn't the word. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
I'll post this up for Smita as well. You can see the beginning.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu. Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Bol.